Hello and welcome to Beyönd. I'm Laurent and today I want to introduce you to our team building game, The Mansion. Designed for 8 to about 24 participants, The Mansion serves to evaluate the team's online communication skills. It's versatile, suitable for team building events or recruitment purposes for junior and mid-level managers. Now here's the scenario. A team on a day trip for a team building activity mysteriously ends up in the mansion, abducted by the evil game master to test his new creation. To escape, the team must collaboratively solve riddles and puzzles using everyday work tools such as spreadsheets and whiteboards. So basically it's a sort of escape room for a full team. Now the game unfolds in an immersive 3D environment, this one basically. Each player manages their own character that they can move all around, observe the others, observe the environments, and communicate with the others. Now, initially, the group is divided into 4 teams locked in separate rooms, and they must solve a puzzle together to exit. So as you can see here, you have basically the green room, the black room, the blue room, and the pink room, and each team will be locked in one of those rooms. Now, they will have to solve a puzzle together to exit. And in order to do that, they will have to communicate. How do they communicate? Is by using an integrated chat. Now, there are actually 2 chats, one chat per team, and one global chat to communicate with the others. In addition to that, we also use an external video app like Zoom or Teams to facilitate the verbal and visual communication. Now, as the game progresses, the teams start to merge, altering teams' dynamics and the leadership roles in each round. So what happens is that when the 4 teams solve their first puzzle, they will actually merge. So those 2 teams will become one and those 2 teams will become one. So what happens, imagine you have 24 participants, 6 per room. You shift from 4 teams of 6 to 2 teams of 12. And what happens is, of course, you usually have per team a leader or someone that manages the team. What happens when you suddenly move from 2 teams to 1 team? What happens with the dynamics? What happens with the position of leader? Are they going to fight for it? Do they come to a common agreement? Are there cultural differences between the different rooms, etc., etc.? So this is things that we're going to discover. Now, the complexity doesn't solely lie in the puzzle solving, but in how the people collaborate. So the game reveals, as I stated, who is comfortable with such challenges, who assume leadership positions, and who prioritize cooperation. So this is, for example, very interesting if you want to use this game for recruitment. You have the information they provide on a CV, and then you see them in a crisis situation. How do they behave? How do they work? What's their teamwork, etc., etc. To do that, they will use the chat, video calls, and embedded interactive tools that provide insight. Now, those tools are often tools that we use at work. So, for example, in this case, you have in level 1, this is the blue room of level 1. In here, you have a spreadsheet. So basically all the participants will have access to this spreadsheet and they will have to use it in order to solve the puzzle. Now the difficulty in here is how to manage it when you have 24 people playing at the same time. That's the main question, and that is how the dynamic will change. In the second game, in the second level, in here, you have a Miro whiteboard. So here again, you have a tool that is often used by employees. How are they going to manage this in order to solve the puzzle? So you have actually 2 difficulties. The puzzles themselves, but actually the whole communication part and management part of the assets and tools that the team has. Now, during the game, the facilitators will have access to what's going on and participate. So basically, the facilitators can see everything that happens from a top view, but also travel and walk around like the players in their 3D environment. So here you have, for example, one room. I will just skip through the walls because I'm not inside the game itself. As you can see, this is the black room, and they can see all the participants and how they behave during the game. Also, the facilitator has access to the chat, meaning that they can use it to ask questions, come with suggestions, kind of put the focus on something specific related to a soft skill or a question they have for recruitment, etc., etc. So while it's a mystery game, it's an escape game, it seems scary at first, but actually what's most interesting is that the game reveals the mystery lies in each one of us, and what is the mystery of all the participants. And in that case also the mansion is compatible with psychometric tools like MBTI, DISC, Insights, etc. And we can actually use the participants' profiles in order to create, to define the teams, define roles, etc., etc. So basically, if we use a DISC or Insights that use different color, energies, etc., so we can all create heterogeneous teams or homogeneous teams and find out how they behave in certain situations, like this one, for example. Now, this of course is just one game, and it's more like a method, because we can use the same system to create other games in other contexts. So such a game can also be created inside a specific company's context based on queries, questions, puzzles that are directly linked to the work of that specific company. And in that case, if you have questions about this game or about the creation of any other game, feel free to get in touch. Now, another element also is that, as you can see, the development of the game, this is our platform, is actually very easy to do. It's a floor planner that you have done in 2D and in 3D, and actually everything is drag and drop. So if you want to add something to the game, here you have, for example, a cyberpunk hackers room. You would like to add characters, it just drag and drop. Same thing applies for the scripts. So as you can see, the scripts are here in blue, and you can find them there. So basically, each time that you want something to happen, you click, you add the content, you say what you want to happen, but without getting into details right now. Is it dispatched to all? Do you have to answer puzzles, etc., etc.? Again, just drag and drop, which means that anyone can actually create such a game. There is no need to develop anything. Of course, as you saw, we embedded spreadsheets and Miro. We can embed LMS systems and other external elements to create more interaction within the game. Now, the game itself, the mansion, takes about 2.5 hours without the use of the hints. So if you check here, you will see, well, actually in this part you have less hints, but if you check here, for example, you will see a whole load of hints, and it's up to the team to decide whether they want to use it or not. So this is also part of the experience. What are they going to do with this kind of information? So 2.5 hours normally without the use of the hints, and you have to add to that at least half an hour of debriefing in order to talk about the experience. And that is really the enriching part, is to find out how they felt about it, what they did, what did they feel good about and bad about, etc. Now, in a team building activity, it's also possible to do it after each level in order to further develop on the experience by level. So what went well, what went wrong, how can we improve it, and then play the next level, etc., etc. In a recruitment process, it's more about to assess if the person is congruent with what they said during the interview and wrote in their CVs. Voilà, that's it. So I hope that you you understood what it's all about and that you find it interesting. Be sure to contact me or my team if you have any questions. And lastly, if you're eager to stay updated regarding our new features, new games, or just to discuss game-based learning, gamification, and our perspective on it, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, our newsletter, or just connect on LinkedIn, and we gladly have a conversation with you. But that's it. I wish you a lovely day and see you around. Take care. Laurent out.